Welcome to everyone joining us on Facebook or our YouTube channel. It's good to have you here on this Thursday. We're going to wait another couple of minutes for those who are still entering our Zoom, I guess you could say the Zoom room, to come in. In the meantime, you know what to do, and you can get started. Okay. I will keep a half an eye open to see if others are still knocking on the Zoom door, but we'll get started now. So if you haven't already, find a comfortable sitting position, close your eyes, and shift your awareness onto the breath. And take this moment to deeply relax, releasing any tension you might find anywhere on the body. Tension in the belly, on our face. And each time we exhale, to see if we can surrender a little more, see if we can let go and release even more. Not to the point of falling asleep, but just on the edge. And keeping a straight spine. Letting go a little bit more. See if you can do that. Any tension anywhere. And we'll step into this sacred time together with a threefold shalom chant. Shalom. 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 And after the chant, we give the body a little time to find its own breathing rhythm again. The natural flow, the natural rhythm of our breath. And if you're not sure if the sneaky mind is trying to control this moment and control the breath, there's a simple thing to do, is to wait at the end of your next out breath and stay and wait until the body is ready to breathe in again. And then from that place, let the body exhale when it's ready again. You could do that a few times to make sure that that the mind is not trying to control. By being very patient. We have to train the mind to relinquish control of the moment. The need for the mind to be in charge. It's very freeing, actually, that when we meditate, we don't have to be in charge of anything. We don't have to be in charge of life. Don't have to be in charge of the universe. Don't have to control anyone, anything. We kind of step back and just observe. We're not in charge. Whatever happens, happens. And we are grateful to leave anything and everything to be out of our control. We can rest. That's why meditation is a taste of Shabbat. That's why Shabbat is a meditation retreat. That kind of resting, that kind of breathing, exhaling, knowing we don't have to be in charge or in control of anything. We can let everything be and unfold just as it is and just as it does. It's so freeing, so healing. It is so hard, however. It is hard because we have trained ourselves to be fearful of no control. Especially in our society, control and power are fed into our psyche almost as bare necessities for survival. Control and power. But for the few minutes of our meditation, we can relinquish control. We can breathe and relax in our powerlessness. And we can see that the heart still is beating, blood is still pumping, breath is still happening. All the functions of our physical, emotional, and mental body are still doing whatever it is they are meant to do. And we can just let them. It's okay. Jewish meditation uses mantra mostly, not so much to coerce the mind, but really to evoke within our heart the understanding of the world from a different perspective through a different reality. Reb Nachman of Bratslav used verses from scriptures to evoke within himself that kind of divine reality, to remind himself of truth and to practice into that truth. One of his mantras from scriptures was Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid, which is translated in English as I place before me the divine presence always. He used this mantra to remind himself that in all of his experiences, he sought to know the divine presence. Everywhere he looked, he saw the divine. Every moment he experienced the divine. Every breath he took was a moment of connection with the divine, was the divine breath. The word shiviti is the word translated as I placed, I place, I set forth. But if you listen to the word shiviti, it has the word shavat, Shabbat in it. So maybe it's not exactly true to say that he placed the divine presence before himself always. That he sought to encounter the divine in every moment of mindfulness, in everything he did. Perhaps he was also understanding the verse as resting, Shabbating in the presence of the One always. And in this way, his inner as well as outer experience was a sacred, divine experience. When he rested and surrendered to his inner realization, and when he moved about in his life, You sought to unite the inner and the outer. And so though the whole sentence is hard to memorize, especially if we don't know Hebrew well, we can use the first word, shiviti, and you would spell it S-H-I, V as Victor, V-I-T-I, shiviti. And it sounds like the word Shabbat. They are sound equivalent, homophones. They are spelled differently, but they sound the same. So, my invitation is, as you rest, to know that anything that arises within your awareness is the Shiviti spelled one way that places the divine before you as objects, as content. But the observer, the seer, the experiencer of all this content is the other spelling, the Shiviti with Shabbat instead, is the presence of resting that is not contained by the content. That is always here. That allows everything to arise and rests in its observing. And perhaps as Reb Nachman sought to awaken, we might awaken to the truth that ultimately both the observer that Shabbats and the content that is placed before, in front of, as object, both content and observer are not two. And if we look very carefully into our experience, we might notice that both co-arise. The observer and the observed. Shiviti, Shabbati. Shiviti. The observed, the observer, Shiviti. I place the presence before me always. I know the presence within me always. And we gently, slowly let go of our practice. Taking a couple of deeper breaths, perhaps, and moving, stretching the body if we feel the need to do so. Reb Nachman took his mantra everywhere he went. He wasn't just a mantra for meditation, he was a mantra for life. That he could be reminded in every moment of the presence of the One, looking out at the world, looking at everything and experiencing every moment. So I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Just play with it maybe just today and see what happens. Especially with the most familiar things that are around us, which we don't see anymore. To see the embodiment of the divine in everything and everyone. And because everything and everyone is the expression of the Divine One, we share our blessings, our learnings, our heart openings with all sentient beings, all beings, that they might know themselves to be expression of the divine, most sacred, most holy, that they might discover within themselves greater peace, greater wholeness and harmony. Moderni, thank you.
Modani, thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Modani, thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivier.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.